And what I said in the post is that a lot of people would think that's disgusting, but what would you do if you're dying, right? If you're starving to death, you wouldn't think that's disgusting, right? You do whatever you got to do.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the first episode of our third season of the Ivy League Mindset podcast. Hawk, how you doing tonight?
I'm pretty good, man. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good. For this first episode, guys, it's going to be a little intro episode to the season. We're going to sort of talk about what you can expect this season later on in the episode. But the main topic we're going to discuss tonight is making it work no matter what. So, as you know, we're as we record this, it's February 12th, I think, today.
Yeah.
We're well into 2020, and Hawk and I had full intentions of starting the podcast back out at the beginning of January. Well, we've been busy, life's been getting in the way, and we've been letting the excuses get in the way. And tonight we're doing it through a Zoom call because that's the way that we can make it work. And I thought that was a fitting topic for tonight's episode because we're making it work no matter what tonight to make sure we get this first episode out to you guys and we start the season. And it's sort of just like a fitting topic for life, for tons of different things in your life. So for the first example is making this podcast work. Hawk and I both have crazy busy schedules the last month and a half. And when he's free, I'm not free. When I'm free, he's not free. We both said we were free tonight, but like I had to be home, so we couldn't get together. He had a coach. He had a class to coach, so we're making it work, right?
That's it, man. And don't get us wrong, guys. We have been recording, and we have some fire for this season. So I'm really, really excited to showcase what we have in store. But you'll have to listen to see who's coming up, guys.
So as we just sort of talk about this topic of making it work, I'll give the most recent example from my life is I was away this weekend, Friday, Saturday, staying in a hotel. I couldn't get my typical workouts done like I normally do with the equipment that I normally use. And that would have been a really easy excuse to say, I'm not working out today. I don't have the equipment. It's not going to happen. But instead, I knew I wanted to work out, and I just did one day a body weight workout in the hotel room, and the other day I just utilized whatever equipment that the hotel room gym had, which was like an elliptical, a treadmill, and like a bike. But whatever, right? Like I used the treadmill to do sprints, and then I did some burpees and some more body weight stuff, mix it up. But that was just one of the ways of you make it work no matter what you have. If you tell yourself you're going to do something, you make sure you get it done no matter what.
Do you find a lot of people take the easy way out and make the excuse, oh, there's not enough equipment, even though there is equipment? Or, I think it's not a surprise that you're going to go to a hotel, right? Or a hotel gym or wherever. You should expect it not to have as much things or equipment, right? So anticipate that. I find a lot of times people spend time looking at Instagram and not looking up knowledge that they can use. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I knew I was going to a hotel. I knew I wasn't going to have my typical workout equipment, but I did some research on some good, quick body weight workout exercises. Just having the knowledge that I have, I knew how to throw some stuff together too. It would have been really easy for me just go into that vacation mode and be like, you know what? It's okay. You can skip Friday and Saturday. You don't need to do workouts. Don't worry about it. It's very easy to talk yourself into that excuse that it's okay to skip what you want to do and just be like, you'll go hard next week and you'll make up for it. But this year I'm really all about strengthening my mind as much as possible. Mm-hmm. And if I'm supposed to work out Friday and Saturday, I'm going to work out Friday and Saturday, no matter whether it's you're in a hotel and you don't have the equipment or whether it's you don't have the time, I'll find the time to make it work, right? It's mm-hmm. just like we're saying, making sure you're doing what you say you're going to do. And my goal is to make sure I'm working out, get fitter, get stronger. And what maybe last year or previously I would have let become an excuse and let like just be like, oh, whatever, it's cool. Like, don't wake up early, sleep in. You don't have the kids. It's the easy morning to sleep in. And
Mhm.
it's just like, no, I say I wake up every morning and work out. I'm waking up every morning and working out, right?
How much does anticipation and planning play a factor in making sure you get it done?
It's definitely for me at least, it's a huge factor. Like I even went to the lengths of researching what gyms were going to be around the hotel, if there was any way I could fit in workouts. But just because of the time schedule and the different schedules that the gyms had with my open time, there was no time to fit that in. So like I have at home, like I used what I had. I had the hotel room and I had the hotel gym. Just like I have a gym in my garage. I don't always have the time to be able to drive out and go to a gym and work out, but there's always time for you to go out in the garage and get your workout in no matter what. No excuse, right?
That's
So
it.
planning is definitely a big thing. It's one, it was knowing that you're not going to have the equipment that you have. Like I checked out the hotel gym pictures. Like I said, I checked the gyms all around it, knowing that, okay, I'm not going to be able to get to a gym to work out. I have to do a body weight workout type thing. And then finding one that was going to work. So then when it was time to do my workout on Friday, I was good to go. I knew what it was. There was no excuse to having to find anything. And then Saturday morning, I was good to go. I knew what it was. And I was going to do it. And I think like in anything in life, you sort of have to do that planning and factor in all the different things that can happen to you in order to make sure you want to get done what you want to get done, right?
Yeah. So this year, I noticed the big change in your mindset on execution, and that's huge. And I enjoy your process, that what you're doing, and we've talked a few times about what you're doing, what you're factoring out, what's important, what's moving the needle. Can you give a tip? Because I feel like what everybody has the knowledge. Say we'll use fitness as an example, right? Everybody has the knowledge to know how to lose weight, get in shape now, but the problem is their execution. I find that you're getting better with it. What was the changing factor for you? What kind of tip can you give here?
Um, so this tip actually like translates into all aspects of my life that I'm now like really executing on. But let's use fitness because it's a really easy example because I find fitness is the most tangible example and um, result driven thing that there is, right? You put in the work and you work out every day and you eat clean, you're going to see results. If I'm telling you that I'm working out every day and I'm eating clean and you see me in 2 months and like I'm not looking fit, you can
Yeah.
tell. You can tell that you're lying. So for me, it was having the mindset of I am an athlete and I am someone that who works out every single day and I'm going to stick to that routine. Instead of having the mindset of I want to be an athlete or I want to be someone that works out every day, I changed it to I am. And when you are, you just fully believe that you are and you do what you say you have to do to be who you are. You know what I mean? And that is the tip, the gravy, the secret sauce. You know what I mean? It simply was that switch in your head to you already are whatever you say you're doing, and it's simple. You just live how you're supposed to be.
Uh, Obviously not the easy road, which is cool. And I noticed with some people that had a mindset switch this year with some of my clients is that they've had multiple people tell them, you know, you need to work on this, but they don't believe it, right? And then you have multiple people tell you, and then they finally realize, oh, maybe it is me. Maybe I am making an excuse, right?
Yeah.
Or I need to approach it differently. right? So sometimes we think that we're doing the right thing or putting all our energy into one thing that's not getting us anywhere. And then we have to step back and actually listen to some people and take advice, which is a good one, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, and like on that note, self-awareness I think is key too. I think making sure you know what works for you and what doesn't work for you, and being able to like accept what doesn't work for you and take that loss and take that fail and just learn from it and move on.
Hmm.
That's a huge one for me too. Like learning what time of day is the best for me to do my workouts and get it in and how to do it. Um, I've mentioned it on my Instagram a few times, but I'm using the Whoop band to like check my recovery and make sure I'm doing my hard workouts the days my body's ready for it. And on days where it's not, I'm doing less hard of a workout so that I'm going to be recovered for the next day. And like factoring all those things in too, right? It's just that self-awareness, knowing what you can do, knowing what works for you and what doesn't work for you, and making sure you're not doing what doesn't work for you and you are doing what does work for you to get to
Hmm.
where you want to go, right?
Hmm. Exactly. Um, yeah, for myself this year, is it's been definitely a busy year. I have lots of goals for my work and business and all that stuff, right? So, but I'm definitely using motivation, my kids mostly, to just do what I got to do. Honestly, this is beyond me, and that's how I always feel when I approach things. This is beyond me, so I got to do. I just got to do it. That's it. I don't try to make excuses, and I'm trying to balance as many things as possible. Obviously, some things that I don't feel like take a higher priority. It's kind of taking the back seat a little bit, but I'm pushing hard on the things that I feel like are very important to me right now.
So talk about that. How has the process been for you to find that balance?
I'm a I write down all my plans, my schedule. A big planner for a week ahead, and I just do what I say I'm going to do. We've been giving tips on Instagram, on our Insta stories there, right? And my last one was about my parents, right? About my dad bearing. So I'll say the story again. So I talked about people's perspective on things, right? So my dad, during it, he was asked, but they got murdered. And, oh, hey Dan, can you still hear me?
Yeah, it sort of cut out there a little bit, but I
Yeah,
think I think we're good now.
yeah. Sorry. So yeah, 2 million Cambodians starved or got killed, right? So they had to do whatever they were asked to do. So my dad was asked to bury a pig that just died. I think it died a couple days before that, and him and his buddy had to bury it. They were starving so much that 4 days later they went back. They had a plan to go back, unbury this pig, and just eat it. And what I said in the post is that a lot of people would think that's disgusting, but what would you do if you're dying, right? If you're starving to death, you wouldn't think that's disgusting, right? You do whatever you got to do. Anyways, yeah. Long story short, people complain about weird things, right? People complain that there's nothing to eat when their fridge is full. People complain that there's nothing to wear when they have clothes, their full closet of clothes. When I feel like when I come from a family that survived that kind of thing, I have no excuse to do what I got to do. And that's that. I know it's a long story that I went all the way around, but that's basically it. I have no excuse. I didn't go through that type of stuff. I didn't have the best situations, but way better than what my dad and mom went through. I have no excuse.
Yeah, like when you factor in like what our quality of life is and like the problems that we face today compared to some of the problems that like your parents faced, it's night and day, right? Like it's totally night and day. Like you see it all the time. I've been seeing it a lot lately on Instagram for some reason. People make those posts that like, do you have a roof over your head? Did you eat something today? Do you have a bed to sleep in? Yes. Then like, okay, you're better than like 5 billion people in this world type thing. Right.
Mhm.
And it's so like crazy to think, but like, it's so true. So many people like
Yeah.
it,
And-
like have lived a life like your parents or like, it's yeah, like we are so lucky where we live in the world, what we have. And when you come from a mindset of gratefulness and you understand that and you know that like whatever you think is bad is nothing compared to how bad it actually could be, right?
yeah, to me, like compared to that, if I had to work 20 hours a day, that's light work compared to what they had to go through.
Yeah.
And how I see it is we have so much opportunity that people make excuses not getting stuff done or not seeing the results that they want, even though they don't put in the work for it. The opportunity alone is you should be so blessed, so blessed. And I think if more people saw how blessed they are, I think they would change how they approach work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And work as in like how you move towards your goals, right? Not just work, but that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. No,
You
yeah, for sure. I think like also uh I catch myself sometimes complaining about things.
know? Mhm.
And when I catch myself complaining about something, I think to myself, like, okay, you're complaining about this situation. Why are you complaining about it? Is it because you're doing something you don't like to do? And because if that's the case, we can fix this problem so you don't have to complain about it. Are you complaining about it because you're not grateful for the stuff that you have right now? Like, there's different things that like I'll catch myself being upset about it, and then it's like, well, you know what, you don't have to keep doing that. If that like you're recognizing now this pattern that like it's always making you upset and whatever, cut it out or change it because you have the power to do it. You know what I mean? Like you have the power to change that mindset or nip those things that are the negatives in you that are pulling you down, that aren't letting you go forward and grow.
Um, it's kind of like if you see everybody's kind of the same in the environment that you're in and you don't want to be that, well, guess what? You got to do something different because everybody's moving the same, right?
Yeah.
And if everybody's not moving how you want to move, then you got to move differently. That's it.
That's it. And it's like, and then that same prescription, I guess, like transforms into everything. Like if you're doing the same thing over and over and over again and you're not getting the results that you wanted to get, you need to switch it up so that you can see if you can get better results.
Mm.
It's that simple. Like you can't keep pounding your head against the wall if it's not going to work. Like you got to notice the things that you're continuously doing that aren't like, so one example for me is I used to do my workouts and then I used to have a beer. That used to be like my thing, right? Like my beer was my reward from after my workouts. But I wasn't noticing the results that I wanted to get from like my workouts. Like, yes, I was getting stronger. That was no question. But like that beer belly's still kicking around. And it's like you're telling yourself, like, well, you're working so hard, you deserve that beer. But like if I want to get the results that I'm looking for, that is now cut out of my like weekly 5 days a week. I don't have that beer anymore. You know, I switch it up and I'm starting to see the results because that, as small as you think it is, that little thing was holding me back from the results that I was actually looking for.
Yeah. And you know what? It's that time in our lives, like you see everything's moving fast, right? There's no more time to mess around. It's time to move, and that's
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? People listening to this podcast, we appreciate it, but you gotta move, make your own moves, and keep it going.
And
That's it. No
that's
more
where
making excuses.
that's where mindset and discipline like come so much into play, right? Like like I work out in my garage and then I walk by my garage fridge where all my beer is and then I go inside for my shower afterwards. You know
Yeah.
how easy it would be to just open that fridge and just grab one and be like, oh, you know what? Tonight you're just going to have one. It's no big deal. But like that mindset and discipline of like, no,
Yeah.
like that's not what you're telling yourself. That's not what you're doing. You're not
Yeah.
doing it. Simple as that.
It's everybody has to come to a point where they're just sick and tired of being sick and tired. You know what I mean? If you keep complaining about all the bad things in your life, then you got to come with a different approach. Like we said,
Yeah.
you guys
Yeah.
got it. Everybody has it in them. It's whether they want to make that change or not. If they're happy complaining, which unfortunately there are people like that, that's up to you. But if you don't like being like that, well, you gotta make the difference for yourself.
Or if you're questioning, like, is there something different or something better on the other side? Take the leap and see if there is something better on the other side. Like you can always go back to where you are. Like that's the craziest thing, right? Like if you don't like it, you can always go back, but maybe you'll like it and you don't want to go back.
Yeah, definitely try new things if you want to. If you are uncomfortable trying it by yourself, grab a partner. There's lots of people out there that are on the same page as you where they want to try it, but they don't want to try it by themselves, which is understandable. Nobody, like, I'll give you an example here, Dan. I was just talking to my wife about, do you know those Survivor shows, not the Survivor series or season or whatever it's called? It's like Naked and Afraid, like
Yeah,
that
yeah,
type of stuff. Yeah,
yeah.
where you get put out in the middle of nowhere by yourself. And one thing that I noticed with every one of those shows is not that they can't survive. It seems like they're all capable of doing it if they know the skills. It's that they get so lonely that they go crazy. So I really believe that there's some sort of connection with interacting with other humans and being around other people. So why not be around other people that want to try different things? And there's lots of those, right?
Yeah, like we talk about all the time, you surround yourself with like-minded people. It's just going to help you like you grow and do things, right?
Mhm.
Like I know for you, like so you just got your gym back up and running.
Mhm.
And I'm sure you see it all the time in the group classes that you coach. Like everyone goes there with the same goal in mind. And when you see other people working just as hard as you are, if not harder, it almost makes you want to work harder, right?
It's human nature. It's human nature. It's either the ego or competitiveness, or they just want to do better for themselves because they see that more effort can be put out. That's it. You know what I mean? Other people are trying, so you try harder and you keep trying. It's a wonderful thing. I think that's the best part about being around people, right?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Um, what about you? Is there anything else that you've sort of changed up this year to make sure you're going to get done what you say you're going to get done?
I'm pretty much just trying to get a little bit better. I'm using the same strategy that I've been using probably the last 6 years, is getting a little bit better each day, mentally or physically. I know I say that a lot, but it's the truth. Honestly, it's the truth. I'm gonna keep going with it. I'm gonna keep getting better. And whether I post it on social media or not, I'm always moving. So what if people worry about that? They don't have to worry about that. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how.
Why?
That's
Yeah,
how.
man.
That's it. Like that's why when I see people, I see potential because I know how I am, and there's tons of people like that too, where they're just hard workers. They're not gonna quit. That's why I never underestimate anybody. You know.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean, if you can put your mind to it, other people can put their mind to it and do the same thing, right?
Hmm. That's right. Do you want to talk a little bit about what's going to happen this season? Ooh, not too deep because I want them to be a little bit surprised about what's going to happen in this season. But
Yeah, we can talk about I guess like some of the guests that we're gonna have on, and
yeah,
we've Hawk's been interviewing. How many have you? Three now?
yeah, three or four. But anyways, yeah, we have all great topics.
some really cool people, some really cool topics.
You guys are gonna love it this season. Yeah, every season we're trying to get better with a little bit better at everything.
Yeah. And since this is episode 1, while you guys are listening to it, if there's anything that you want us to talk about or cover, or anyone that you think we should interview and chat with, hit us up with a message and let us know, because we're always open to that as well. We always have the people that we know we want to talk to, but we always know you, the listeners, you're the real bread and butter of the podcast. So
Yeah.
if there's something that you guys want to hear, we'd love to hear about it, because we'd love to chat about it.
Yeah, I had a couple people message me, so I'll get back to you guys shortly. But yeah, it's going to be a great season. All about mindset again, obviously. Lots of jujitsu, obviously. So
Probably lots of fitness. Like, as you know, Hawk and I like to explain a lot of things through fitness. I mean, it's one of the things that, like, I know for me, when I push my mind, it usually the like main vessel is through fitness, but then that translates through the rest of my life, because when I tell myself I'm going to do something in the gym, I usually will do all the other things that I tell myself I'm going to do throughout the week, throughout the days. You know what I mean? Fitness is just sort of like that one thing that proves yourself right, that you can do it, and then you can go out and finish it. So fitness is another big topic that we chat about all the time.
And you know what I find is the people that move big, that are doing big things, and they can fit fitness into their life. That's something personally I really, really respect, because it's definitely not easy. Like I say many times, is that everybody puts their health as top priority, at least top 3, I would hope, right? But to do it is another thing, right? That's one of the things for sure that people put at a top priority that they don't do. My
Yeah.
opinion, though.
Yeah. And like I said earlier, is that like, you know, the people that are doing it and you know the people that aren't, because you can see the physical like nature of them, right? And like you just said, like, I really respect people that take the time to take care of themselves. And because, you know, if they're putting in the work for themselves, you know they're going to put in the work for all the other aspects of their life too, right?
Yeah, it's mind and body. It's the full package, right?
Right.
So I know we didn't really explain what we're gonna, the people that are gonna be on the podcast, but we're gonna save that. We're gonna save that. You
Yeah,
guys are
for sure. Stay tuned, because you guys will start seeing some sneak peek clips every now and then. And yeah, was there anything else you want to chat about?
I think that's it for today, Dan.
Yeah. I mean, like, the main message we're trying to get you guys today is there's no excuses. If you say you're going to do something, find a way to make sure you do it. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, and I hope everybody grinds to their goals this year. It's 2020. Everybody's seeing clear, right? So you just gotta do it. Honestly.
That's what they say. And I mean, maybe you've had a rough first month, but you still got 11 months to go. So just turn it up a notch and get into gear.
You got the rest of your life. So
And that.
just honestly, you put in a good year. It's beautiful, the outcome that happens, right?
But it's also as simple as, like you say, you get better every single day, and that adds up, right?
Oh, it's huge. It's huge.
It adds up exponentially. If you
Yeah.
get a little bit better every single day, you're going to be amazing after 1 year. Like, it's just an exponential growth, that as easy as that. So
Yeah.
don't always think about what it's going to be like at the end of the year. Take it day by day and just make sure you're doing something to make yourself better that day. And then you're waking up the next day and doing the same thing.
Keep killing it, everyone.
Cheers, guys. Until next time.